Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So in this video, we'll discuss the second problem of Lead Code Weekly Contest 340. It's a medium level problem, but I think it's much better than the other level 2 problems that you get. And you can see that with the accuracy as well on a very low side, I would say. Okay, this is generally not the accuracy for the second level problems. So let's see what the problem is asking us to do. So the problem name is sum of distances. Okay, you are given a zero index integer array nums. Okay, there exists an array ARR of length nums.length where ARR of I is the sum of absolute value of I minus j over all j's such that nums of j equals to nums of I and j is not equal to I. If there is no such j, set ARR of I to be 0. Return the array I. Okay, complex statement. Let's see what it's trying to say. So here my array is 1, 3, 1, 1, 2. Okay, this is my nums array. I need to return an answer array. Okay, where what will happen? This is index number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just pick this value. Okay, the value is 1. Now see what are the other values, what are the other indices where your value is 1. So this is the, let me just change the color. Let's choose green. So this is the first index, second index, third index. Okay, now the answer for this position will be, this is index number 0, so 0 minus what is the other ones that you have. So it is at index number 2, so 0 minus 2, take the absolute value, plus 0 minus 3, just add this, so you get 5. So the answer for this position will be 5. Okay, so basically you are seeing what are the other indices having the same value which is there on the current index and just taking the absolute difference. Okay, that is what the problem is asking us to do. Let's take more examples. So this is 3. Do we have any other occurrence of 3 in the array? No, so obviously it will be 0. Now pick this one. Now the index here is 2, so what I'll do, I'll find the difference of this 2 with this 0. So it is 2 minus 0 plus the difference of this 2 with this 3, right? Because the values are same, so it will be 2 minus 3. So it gives you 2 plus 1. So the answer here is 3. Got it? Now again, this is 1. Okay, this is 1. Now let's find the differences. So it's 3 minus 0 plus 3 minus 2. That comes out to be 4. Okay, and this is the last value 2. So do we have any other occurrence of 2 in the array? No. So answer will be 0. So 5034 503440 is your answer. So this is your answer. Okay, so the problem statement was a little bit confusing, I can understand. Here you have 053. Now straightforward, just tell me, do we have any other occurrence of 0? No, so answer will be 0. Do we have any other occurrence of 5? No, answer is 0. Any other occurrence of 3? No, answer is 0. Okay, so that is what we are asked to do in this case. Okay, let me just erase it for simplicity. Got it? So this problem is actually similar to one of the problems we received in a very recent contest, but let me tell you the intuition. Okay, let me tell you the intuition. So the limit here is 10 raised to the power 5, right? So you can't run a nested loop for every index, that will give you TLE. Okay, so what is the approach here, right? What could be the approach? So if you are familiar with a carry forward technique that we have, okay, so generally we will try to pass some information, okay, so that we can use it and we do not have to calculate it again and again. What do I mean by this? So here I have 1 3 1 1 2. First thing is, all the numbers, okay, all the numbers, put indices of all the same numbers. Like for example 1, so at which indices 1 is present? It is index number 0, 2 and 3. Got it? Where all 2 is present? Just index number 4. Where is 3 present? Index number 1. Okay, now wherever there is only one occurrence of a particular number, answer will be 0, right? Because you will not be able to form a pair, right? So forget about these things. Now comes this case where there are multiple occurrences. Okay, where there are multiple occurrences. So just see, if this is your array, okay, if this is your array, okay, now one occurrence is here, 0 1 2 3. Okay, so what I need to do, I remember there was a question where we had to increase and decrease the value. So here also what we have to do is, suppose you are standing at this index. Okay, you are standing at this index. So how do you find the difference? Okay, how do you find the difference? So whatever is the sum of indices here, okay, where you have 1, okay, where you have 1, I'm talking about value 1. Okay, So wherever you have 1, first you put all the indices together. Let's create a list or sorted list, okay? And suppose I'm talking about this index. So what you will do? What you will do is, whatever is the sum of indices till here. Suppose there was one more, okay? There are two occurrences of one big on its left side. So what will happen if I subtract? So what I'll have to do, this is index number I, this is j, this is k. So actually to calculate this part, what I'll have to do, I'll have to do k minus I plus k minus j, right? If you combine it, you can do it 2k minus I plus j, right? I can do it like this. Similarly, if this is index number w, so what I'll have to do, I'll have to add w minus k in my answer. So let's talk about the left hand side first, okay? So this is 2k minus I plus j. So if, what is this? This is the sum of indices on the left hand side, okay? So I can keep a track of these indices by just taking a variable, right? By just taking a variable and by keeping a track of how many occurrences of one has come, or all the same element has come. So here I had two occurrences, so I can simply do twice into what is my current index, because I have to subtract the indices from this value, okay? So 2 into k minus whatever is the total sum on the left hand side, okay? So that is I plus j. What about the right hand side? So now right hand indices are larger than my index, okay? So let's add one more. Suppose you have one more one here, okay? This is w, this is z. So what will be your answer? W minus k plus z minus k. If I combine it, what can I write? W plus z minus 2 into k. So just see the reverse of what we have written here. Here it was 2k minus sum of on the left hand side. Here it is sum minus twice of k. Why twice? Because there are two occurrences. Had there been one more element, suppose y, so it would have been w plus z plus y minus 3k. Getting it? So the intuition here is, for every index, what you will do, if you are standing at the ith position, just see how many occurrences, how many elements are there on the left hand side, obviously whose value is equals to the ith element, and what is the sum of their indices, okay? Similarly, find what is the sum of indices on the right hand side which have the same value as the ith, and what is the sum of the indices, okay? So for, suppose these are a number of elements, so you'll do a into I minus left sum plus right sum, this right sum minus, suppose the occurrence is, this is your answer for the index, right? This is the trick here. Now as you move forward, suppose you move to I plus 1th index, what you will do? I plus 1th index, let me just clear it a little bit, it has become too complex to understand, okay? So what I mean to say, suppose you move from here to here, so what you will do? You will update your left sum. Your left sum will have the sum of this index as well. The count of the elements on the left hand side will increase, and similarly the sum on the right hand side will decrease and the number of elements on the right hand side will decrease, okay? That's the trick here. Now implementation can vary, but this is the core logic. Let me show you the code, what I've done here. This is the number of elements, this is my answer array, okay? I've taken a map, because for every integer I have created a list that what are the indices having this value, okay? So this is what I have done here. I have populated my map, this is the current value, and if my map doesn't contain this key, then create a list there and add the particular index there, okay? This is just, I would say, sort of baking the solution, right? Now what I have done here, traverse your map, okay? Traverse your map. What is the current value here? Just a second. Yeah, what is the current value? This is the current value. Now for this current value, get the list of indices. Now what did I say? If you have just one occurrence of a particular element, then answer will be 0. So if indices dot size equals to 1, answer of indices dot get 0 equals to 0, and continue. So this is done. Now comes the question where I have multiple occurrences of the same element. So what I'll do, n equals to indices dot size. Now this is the total sum. That means where all you have received index number 1, find the total sum of the indices, okay? This is total sum. Then I have a couple of more variables, left sum and right sum, and this is the current answer. So left sum will basically hold the sum of the indices on the left hand side for I, Right sum will hold the sum of indices on the right side of I, and current answer will be answer for the current index. Okay, so that is why for every index I goes from 0 to n. Now just see here, I have used the same variable, n equals to indices dot size. Okay, so don't get confused, n equals to indices of size. That means for the current list, how many elements do I have? Okay, let me erase it. Got it? So now what will happen, just see here, what is the sum, what is the contribution from the left hand side of I? So it is I, that is the number of elements on my left hand side, into, okay, into then the contribution from the current element. So I into, you remember I wrote 2 into k, so this 2 is the number of elements I have on my left hand side, and k is the current index, minus left sum. Got it? Similarly for right sum, it is right sum minus what is the number of elements you have on your right side, so it is n minus I, into obviously this k. Okay, remember what I told, right? So this is the same thing. Now you update your left sum, so include the current element as well in the left sum for the next iteration, and remove it from the right sum for the next iteration, and put it in your answer here. So answer of indices dot get I equals to current answer. Got it? Finally you return your answer. So to be very honest, this was a very good question, I would say. Not an easy one. You must be familiar with these type of questions, and it is totally based on observation. The first thing that you have to look is the constraints are high, so a brute force approach is not going to work here, right? So that means I have to pass some information from one index to the other. That's the trick here. Okay, so generally these type of techniques are known as carry forward. Okay, you can probably study more about this by just googling it. This is known as carry forward. Okay, passing some information that I already have. Got it? So yeah, I hope you learned something new from this video. Do support it by giving up thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel as well. In case of any queries, mention that in the comment section. I'll revert on each one of them. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.